Hey guys, we'll get started in just a couple minutes. AR, why don't you try to talk so we can see if they can hear you?
Okay, I just hope I don't have weird hiccups again this week.
Okay, they can definitely hear you. Dev, why don't you try talking?
Am very, very tired. I'm so sleepy.
Let's see. Okay, that all sounds good. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Welcome to the podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the will.
I'm AR Paul for Digimon System Restore.
DevQ, and I'm trying to keep the cat out of my dinner.
Multitasking.
Exactly.
Dev's
Like
terrible at
anytime I
multi.
cook fried food, she's just like, no.
I've
Here.
known Dev for many years, and Dev, you're terrible at multitasking.
Depends on what multitasking.
True.
I honestly think anyone trying to multitask when it involves keeping a cat away from food is bound to fail.
True.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. It has been it feels like a longer week than it has been.
I
I
can't
mean,
believe
it
it's June.
technically was. Like, this is the end of a long weekend for me. If today feels like Sunday.
True.
I saw the
And
notes and it's like, oh shit, it's Monday. What the
yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, right?
And then we have what I'm told is the finale to the series, and the series is over, and a lot of people seem very surprised when that was not true.
I mean, I wish it was.
Yeah, but you have bad judgment.
I knew it wasn't. It should have been. I honestly would have given it a higher grade if it was.
Nah, I'm happy it's moving on. I'm curious to see what comes next, and more so, the idea that we really don't know if, hey, is this a short thing to end the series, or is this running forever? We really have no clue.
I don't think we're gonna get any clues on that either anytime
Did we get
No.
soon.
any new episode guide episode
Well,
titles yet?
it wouldn't stretch far enough to tell us anyways, even
Yeah,
when
I
we do
mean,
get
what
the next
did we
stretch.
have anything? Do we have anything beyond next week?
We guide data know. We do know when more episodes are airing because of something else later.
Hmm.
But um, yeah, it's kind of weird and interesting because here's the only way we find out for sure if the show is going on without a formal announcement is if like right when episode 51 or 52 before it airs, so they go new opening theme song. That would tell us yes.
I
But beyond,
mean, are we talking in terms of whether the show's like 54 episodes, or whether the show's actually gonna stop at 66, or
no,
whether it's?
I'm saying whether it's quote unquote 66 or whether it's going on until they just decide to end it.
I don't know. I think it's you can do that weird second opening in a unbalanced situation, like a new opening for only 16 episodes. That's not
Yeah,
unheard of.
but
It's weird, but
that's
it's
not really common for s- the longer shows for Toei though, unless they switch stuff up on at an arc setup. And they're not really like even the places where you thought that maybe they might update something, the only thing they ever did was add the shitty sound effects.
Yeah.
I remember after episode 1, it's like when people were actually thinking, it's like maybe they'll update it for it to not be so Tai Chi centric,
Well,
and the rest of
see,
us laughed.
it's not that it. See, even I wonder that, but not to make it less Tai Chi centric. At times, visually, it feels like it was going to fill in.
Yeah,
That
like they did with the Tamers opening where they
yeah.
had like the silhouettes and they
But that
jammed
was
the
yeah,
ultimates
that's
in.
but the silhouettes made that really obvious. And
Yeah.
Frontier had,
Well,
I
here's the
think even
thing.
Favors had a
Here's the
couple
thing.
of.
We know from Kanaka that the silhouettes had nothing to do with the fucking show. They
Yeah,
just
that
so
is weird.
they just
That's
sort of went.
true.
They just sort of went later. Well, that they're in the silhouettes. I guess we'll use them. Like he specifically said that none of those characters that appeared as silhouettes tamer wise were actually planned to be tamers at the point that the intro was made. The intro was just made.
Well, at the
The intro
same
was just made, and they went, "Well, I guess we're using them."
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you would have figured that they were going to end up
Oh,
hitting
sure.
perfect and ultimate eventually. Like, if they changed course on
Oh,
that,
no, I'm
then
talking about the
they would have
kids.
changed it. But oh yeah, well the kids too.
But even the kids,
I mean,
he even
there are a bunch of kids in the opening of Tamers. Like they always focus on Judy and Hirokazu, but there are other kids in Takato's class that are in that opening
yeah,
too that don't end up getting featured. Like
yeah,
I think Miki and Ayaka are in that as well, and
I
they
think
don't
so.
ever sniff it.
Yeah. But he even said that like none of those characters at the time that it was made did they have any plans to for sure use them. It was just we
Yeah,
should.
that's not what I. But that's not what
I know.
I'm.
I just find it amusing in the sense that it's just like, okay, I guess we'll use them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It is. It's amusing
yeah.
from a point of inspiration.
So now we have not quite the end, the ultimate holy battle. I'm actually reasonably happy with this episode. Reasonably, minus one thing. I
One
expect.
thing.
Yeah.
Taichi.
No,
Digi.
as much as people are gushing over the animation, I didn't find it that amazing, to be honest. Like as much as people, there were moments that were nice, but like I expected more from the episode animation wise, to be honest.
That was the one thing.
Yes,
Okay. I mean,
the
I
episode
don't.
by
At
and
least the
large is what
pink fluffy kitty dragon looked good.
the
That's all I
episode
care
by and
about.
Yeah,
large the episode
yeah.
by and large is what I expected, and I even said last week I effectively expected a Dragon Ball Z battle ending, and wow, I didn't know how literal I was being.
I expected a B minus episode, and it was indeed a B minus
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. I mean, I like, and I even said it last week that if they did Taichi no Agumon stuff at the beginning, just snap and get it over with, and that actually went pretty quickly, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like I did not need the
I
plot.
didn't.
I do not need the
It's
plot of them sitting around and getting an explanation as to what happened to them. They're just
it.
there, they're hurt, and then they're back into it.
It's not so much that I thought that that was particularly good. It's that I don't see this writing staff coming up with anything particularly better, and if they're not, just get it done with.
No, most of the
Yeah.
writing staff has done stuff that I prefer. This is just clearly what they want to make, and probably what Toei wants, to be honest.
That's
The past couple of
scary
episodes, I
part.
would have just like adjusted the pacing, like just moved a couple of things
So,
around. That
so
would
I'm
have
a bit,
greatly
I'm a bit
improved
weird.
it.
I feel a bit weird about the pacing. Um,
Oh, the pacing's awful.
so here's the thing: I'm not bothered by the pacing in this episode because I'm not super interested in seeing Millennium on, so my perspective is a bit colored in the fact that it's like, okay, we had the nice battle against Mugajimon, and then Millennium On's never been that interesting of a character to me in the first place, so it's just like, okay, it's a fight, and then he's done, and the people complaining that we weren't going to get to see Z got to see him, and he got punched in the face, and that was done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but for
sort
something
of.
that they strung along for so long, like we have to stop Millennium on. Millennium on is like the biggest, baddest, most horrible thing that could happen to the digital world. It's like, yeah, he's done.
Yeah,
My
I'm perfectly
new
happy
name
with
for
that.
Millennium On is Mid Boss. Because honestly, he went down like a bitch.
You know what's funny? I've been
Anyone who was
dude,
anyone waiting years and years for Millennium On, I bet they should be disappointed. Like
I, I
Millennium
think
On sucks.
I think
He
that
was
Lucimon got
awful.
a better thing even
my
in Frontier, and I bitched about that.
Oh
my favorite
yeah,
thing about that is
Millennium On is easily now in the top 3 for worst Digimon villains
oh
ever. He
no,
was
he was always in the
pathetic.
top 3. He was always a pathetic villain. He got
Yeah,
beat
but
up.
he wasn't in
He
the
got beat
anime
up.
before, so I didn't have to include him.
He got beat up by a kid who wasn't even with a Digimon partner.
He still
Agumon
managed
just
to string
happened to be
Rio. Like,
around.
he still managed to string Rio along for a few games. Like the fact that Rio took so long with it, I'm wondering what's wrong with Rio.
Yeah, but well, there's a lot
I
wrong
mean,
with
we're
Rio.
He
always
has
wondering what's
depression.
wrong with
Yeah,
Rio. So
but
that's
I think AR hit the nail on the head. Millenniumon's kind of a bitch, and he
he is
always kind of
totally.
has been. And I'm perfectly happy getting to see, like, okay, people get to see the big Z, which is right out of the card art, and
And then
then
immediately gets destroyed.
oh, I'm 100% happy with that. When I saw him pop up, I'm like, oh man, please just have him gone by the end of the episode and not, oh, Z teleports away, and then for God knows how many episodes we have people going, he's gonna travel in time. I'm just bleh, gone, happy, thumbs up.
It would have been better if they didn't play him up for so long.
Right. They
But that
played him
always
up as
happens with
being
the
an
final
action.
villain. That's always the final villain, though. It's either done in an episode or two, or it's 10 episodes and people are fucking tired of seeing the villain in the end.
Yeah, but you can still do it a little more than you can do more than one episode. Like
I'm kind of happy it was just one. Like
this would have been this needed to be two, honestly. Like any longer than that, I think you're kind of stretching it, but this was like once you saw that once Zed shows up and you see that there's like 5 minutes left in the episode, I'm like, I'm not even scared of this guy. There's no point in that episode. There's no point in that eepisode where there was any reason to be afraid of Millenniumon. And that's really
I'm not
tragic.
often that I'm not often that I don't really think of fear most of the time when I see Digimon bosses, though.
Well, at the very least, make the characters afraid. The characters weren't afraid of this guy for a second. The only one who was afraid of it was Lopmon.
Well, most of them were too happy that Taichi was back.
That's another.
Like they were like, "Oh,
thing.
Taichi's gonna deal with it."
Yeah, I mean the Millenniumon, like his epic move there was wiping everybody off the map. Thought that was going to be this.
Except here's the thing.
No,
they are all smart enough to know that Taichi is voiced by the voice of Boruto. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's just. It's kind of pathetic. Like they just end up in this weird black vortex, and they're just they're not actually scared. They're just mildly uncomfortable. Koshiro's still on his laptop, like they're just fine. They can evolve and everything.
How much do you like that we will get to hear more complaining and argument between Holy Dramon and Ophanimon fans?
I got to see my big fluffy kitty. I'm happy.
Aren't you just so excited at the people who don't know how to behave regarding that they're going to continue it now? Because
I just point and laugh whenever I encounter that. I don't actually pay attention to that discourse, which is the best thing for everybody. So, and I mean, honestly, like the Goddramon and Holy Dramon stuff, that was all fine. Like that was all good.
I thought that they were gigantic and they were punching and shit at each other.
It was a weird style for that fight, but it was kind of a nice style. Like I'm on board with that.
I'm torn on it for one reason. As much as I like the big thing slow-mo punch-out fight, it's almost more stereotypical than even Dragon Ball Z Spirit Bomb ending. Where it's like, okay, we have the giant kickers, and now it's slow-mo punching. Bursh.
It's not so much. Maybe in the sense of anime at large, but for Digimon, I think it was a nice.
Yes, definitely different here. 100%.
Whereas
it was more like a kaiju-themed fight.
Yeah, whereas the Spirit Bomb at the end, that was so Digimon that it's like I can't enjoy it nor can I criticize it. It's just that's just how Digimon be. Like it is what it is. I'm not really I'm not really affected either way about that.
That's the funny thing is as much as I'll joke that it's Dragon Ball, that 100% is Digimon time and time again. That's like right there.
Yeah, I counted 4 seasons that ended that way. With just the collective hopes of everybody powering the final the final good guy, and that blows the bad guy away. Like that's just how Digimon series end half the time. Literally half the time.
The best usage of that, honestly, I'd say was probably Cross 7 Superior mode.
Cross 7 Superior was good. That was probably the best one. I want to give
absolutely badass. I loved it.
Zero 2 was pretty good too.
Yes,
I like Zero 2's
for me, it's Cross because the Digimon start popping, the dead ones start popping up alive out of the chips, and the music like waves up, and then we start seeing everything start to teleport around and crazy shit happening.
Also because
they went Gurren Lagann with it, and I loved it.
Also because all of the Digimon are actually a part of it. They're not just contributing their power into it; they are it.
Same kind of nonsense.
It's the same kind of nonsense. It's just symbolically more fun.
Leomon held up his hands and stared at a cloud and talked about how great everything was. That's very expected. Although I would have liked if they could have clarified, can they actually see what the fuck's going on, or they're just like feeling it in their hearts or something? Because they can't see the fight, right? Am I
I
wrong?
don't know. It's up in. I mean, it's up in space by that point. It
I
depends on
get,
which part of the world you're on.
but like I could swear that like they were looking at
There were
cloud cover.
clouds.
Okay, good. I'm not imagining that then. Like they were looking at it, they were staring at like a cloud. There was nothing they could see as far as I fucking know.
We
Well,
actually
aside
don't
from
know.
probably like
You know,
feet or like lasers blowing apart part of the cloud cover, that's
they've
probably all they
they've
really
been
got.
involved. They've been involved for 3 episodes. I still don't know where the hell they actually are.
I think they. I don't
Well,
think they
apparently
ever
not in range,
clarified where
in
they were.
cannon
It
range.
was
Yeah.
it was just like collecting everyone and being there alive. They didn't actually
Yeah,
clarify where they are.
basically they're close enough to be able to contact the gang, but where they actually are, they never really got into because they
And
didn't actually do anything.
no, it was basically, hey, we're here. Oh, let's
I mean,
share some power with
they're
them.
contributing their hopes in the end, but so's everybody else around the world. So they didn't really do anything other than
Not su- I,
Lotmon being
I'm not super
a
bothered
big
by that.
downer, saying, "Oh, we're doomed now,"
Yeah,
and then being
as
hopeful.
always
also has
happens with
depression.
Lotmon, everyone ignores Lotmon,
Which is in this
as
case
is
is
expected.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good call in this case.
But honestly, I'm mostly happy with how that ended. Plus, they get the corsage, and Agumon looks so fucking proud of himself.
He basically tanked Millenniumon, so.
He was like,
yeah.
Millenniumon, the bitch ass mid boss.
He was, but that was always Millenniumon. Millenniumon was always more interesting for people to talk about if they were interested in him than to actually like look up the details of the character and go, wow, this is all like stupid nonsense. This is like the worst parts of Star Trek and Doctor Who slammed together, and then they just repeat it time and time again, and then the show ignores it.
Really
He's
is
a dinosaur
like,
with cannons.
Like this whole operation is just begging for us to just laugh at people who are hoping to see Millenniumon this whole time.
And that's why I like him just being used as he was built originally as a weapon, and now he's back as a weapon, and then he just gets blown up multiple times in this episode, and that's fucking it.
I mean,
I'm perfectly
we still
happy.
didn't figure out what the hell Faga means.
No, it was just there was no name. It didn't mean anything. It was just the name of a place.
The name, yeah. The thing is though is that I'm sure I've said this before is that Millenniumon can be used in interesting
But
fashions.
here's the thing. But here's the thing. Anybody can be used. Any character could be used in an interesting way.
I'm still waiting for this series to use somebody in an interesting way. It's gonna happen eventually, I'm sure. We got Wiseman coming up. That's got potential.
Yeah, too much old man Pulver's back. He made his points, and now he has to go with the like bad snark. You had such good point. You had such good points, and now you're back with the hyperbole. And just for that, you have to next week you'll have to compliment Burpmon when he shows up in the Mystery Hidden with the Crests.
I have no idea who Burpmon is.
No
Never
one
heard of it before.
Here's the thing. No one actually cares about Burpmon. People are just getting way too excited when random never showed up in anything relevant.
Yeah,
it's like,
pretty much.
they found this random Digimon in the gutter, this faraway gutter that everybody
do you know what
literally nobody cares about.
Do you know what Burpmon is?
Nope.
It's the gag evolution from the Digimon twin.
Oh my god.
If you feed it too much, your Digimon evolves into Burpmon, which is like a fat Kirby thing. It's a Kirby without any special powers. That's all it is. God. So the entire thing is like the people freaking out about Burpmon, they don't actually care that Burpmon's appearing. It's that, holy crap, they picked a Digimon from 14 years ago that's never mattered, and it will show up in an episode. It's the exact same thing we saw with whatever the hell the fetus was called. I'm not going to remember that fucking name if I try.
Atamada Kashimon.
There you go.
It's my job.
There you go.
Definitely coming through with our pronunciations.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, great. We got slightly fetus-looking red Agumon, and now we get Kirby. And then in a few episodes, Who knows? But hey,
It's gonna be
Garb,
Bun. It's
Garb,
gotta be. Bun is gonna show up eventually.
They better.
we can hope,
It
we can
just
dream.
seems inevitable.
But then next week we get Wisemon, we get the return of Garbamon, and the evolved Chumon. And I love that the advertising image for the next episode preview is Garbamon standing on the platform firing his cannon. I'm so happy to see that. But yeah.
There's some weirdly high expectations for this episode. Like this is kind of a lore episode. I'm kind of like they kind of really need to get this one right.
So here's the thing. I agree with you. I also am already tired of people going, well, why are they only showing 8 crests in the preview? There's 9. No one fucking cares at this point. People are getting upset that they're not showing the crest of kindness.
Oh, for
because
God's
no one
sake.
cares.
Because in the preview, they show the 8 stones. It's like, no, it's 8, and then sometimes there's a 9. And then based on how you want to math it, there might even be a few more. But realistically,
Yeah.
there's 8.
There's 8.
Yes.
There's 8.
Yeah. There is no weird kid kicking puppies at the moment, so there is no 9th. And here's the thing. Would you really want them to tease Ken this early if Ken was going to show up at some point? Or would you rather just be like, oh shit, it's Ken?
Be Ken if there was a 9th. Watch him introduce some rando. Watch him
no,
introduce freaking Rio.
Yeah, I was about to say that's how they'll fucking ruin it.
They totally would do it too. It'll
be the crest of kindness, and then at the end of the episode we get a silhouette of Jedi and people go, it's Rio. No, it's not. Just like it wasn't last time. And then to ruin
surprise, it's Manoa.
And to ruin DevQ's weekend, we don't know what the fuck's going on with Hulu right now. Because Hulu support said their license only covered to episode 49, and then to someone else they said it's a delay that'll be cleared up soon, which I have a guess what may have happened, but Dev, has it shown up for you yet?
Did not earlier today. Let me check.
Yeah.
El Hulu. Nope.
So here's what I think happened, because while shows do not generally go through the wide changes quickly that people seem to think, you do occasionally have an extra episode shoved in there. I think that the end of quote unquote season 1, or whatever you want to call it, was probably meant to end at episode 49. And at some point they added one episode somewhere, maybe even the
there are episodes.
Episode.
There's enough filler in there.
No, not the potato one. The one that really feels like they could just pluck out is the
one episode.
Joe gets kidnapped for water.
Oh yeah, that was.
The Bandits of the
one
Wasteland
was really pointless.
Yeah, because like for example, we do know while Adventure was never going to run for 13 episodes, it was originally 52.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that. We don't actually know what the 2 episodes are, but we do know it actually they had to tweak one thing, which is they wanted the date when Taichi was home to be the actual air date. So we know one episode was from before that because it got bumped back. So my guess is they probably paid for lack of a better phrase, season 1, and season 1 ended up being 1 episode later.
And I could absolutely have seen it the way they plotted this, that if they needed to end it for whatever reason at episode 50, they could have.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could clip off the bit at the end, have them go home.
Yeah.
I'll see you again someday, Agumon.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
even look, a burger.
Even that stretch of filler, they could have used to introduce the other 4 ultimates.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we don't know what's going on with Hulu. We'll see. And then, does it feel weird to get like a full music video for Overseas Highway at this point?
Not really.
It feels kind of late.
That didn't feel like a full song. Like it was like only like 2.5 minutes, and like
I think that's
weirdly,
as long as the song is.
That seemed weirdly short. Yeah, that seemed weirdly short for a full song. I am sure it is the full song, but it just I'm
Yeah.
used to like these. I'm used to songs like going for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, some of them have been pretty long, especially for
Yeah.
modern anime songs that tend to be a bit shorter sometimes.
Are modern anime songs shorter? I don't listen to modern anime songs.
It
So.
feels like they are.
Back in my day, being Old Man Pulver again, they did used to like they consistently were 4 minutes.
See, that's not an Old Man Pulver thing. That's just we're old. That's just old. That's not old man Pulver specifically. When you start to get like these damn kids, it's terrible and cartoonishly though.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's the buffeting a good point with unnecessary hyperbole. I get
exactly.
that.
Yeah. And
I
then
stand by it. Too.
And then to get
I'm not gonna change it.
Oh no, I didn't say you're gonna change it all. It's just amusing to point out because I think it's because the cadence with Pulver after Old Man fits so well. It's fun to say. Try saying it,
really
Old Man
does.
Pulver. It sounds
Man
nice.
Pulver.
It has a nice cadence to it. I just like saying it. I don't even think you do it that often, to be honest.
It is my birthday on Thursday too, so Old Man is very appropriate.
Yeah. Go to Old Man Pulver's Patreon. He's getting old and he needs help. How old are you gonna be, AR?
I am actually turning 40. Yeah.
Old man. Oh man, yeah. I'm pretty sure the noise reduction. I did like the perfect wow whistle noise, and I'm pretty sure it ate all of it.
I did not hear any of that. That might just be my ears. It might just be my ears going. I don't know.
Nah, you have decent hearing, I think. At least
yeah.
Oh, it was the perfect wow toned whistle. I'm so sad that got missed. Happy non birthday to you, because I assume I'll forget by Thursday. So happy birthday to you now.
I have a Ko-fi too for one-time gifts.
Very merry on birthday.
Send AR money.
Send me a birthday Ko-fi.
No, yeah, send him. You can send messages with Ko-fi also, right?
Yes.
Send AR money and tell him what Digimon stuff to buy with it, and pick stuff that he wouldn't like. It's your gift to him. He doesn't get to choose. And then, as the ultimate birthday gift for AR, it is not a standee of Tai Chi. They made a model costume. They made a mascot costume, and
I'm not unhappy by
and
that.
I have
in
to
the
say,
least.
it's a really fucking nice costume.
It is. It's really good.
I'm surprised at how well it looks, because usually like the human mascots are really creepy.
To be fair, the last time we got a Digimon one, was it Taiki?
Did they make a Taiki
I
one?
believe so. It was so long ago.
Yeah, that was when they tried to make them puffier. But yes, this is actually very nice.
I can't remember which ones are like legitimate and which ones are just random stage plays in Thailand.
Yeah. But yeah, this looks really nice. Now, here's the big question. Do you think this is a new costume, as in made now? Or do you think they made this for when the show started and threw it in a closet when they realized there weren't going to be any events for a while?
I think it's the latter, definitely.
Yeah, I hope it's new. For the sake of whoever's inside it.
Well, it still wouldn't be that. It would still only be a year old, even if it's not new.
Yeah, I mean, my Gabumon suit that I made, I've been using it off and on for like 5 years, and as long as you store it nicely, they're not going to get grody.
And then the Digimon TV account put up a clip of the kickoff, which Agumon got a goal.
Agumon actually put it on target. I really appreciate that random mascot goalkeeper
like
actually
doing the fake
pretending
jump
to dive, timing it perfectly so they dive and miss it.
Yeah,
it's like really well done.
Yeah, God, and it was funny. Like we were like, man, we may never find out what happened here based on, and like we got great stuff here.
It actually, I'm surprised they actually put one. They actually attempt to kick a goal. Usually with those first kicks, they just like just kick it to somebody in the middle instead of actually trying to score.
I think the idea is that, like, remember, there's one. It's still the state of emergency. They're trying to make it look a bit more fun. So I think the idea was trying to actually do it.
Which is really risky with that costume.
Yeah, I know. The instant I saw the Agumon,
very easy to either not kick it hard enough to get the goal or to just blast it wide.
So This goes back to my favorite Digimon mascot moment ever. Dev was watching, so I know Dev will know what I'm talking about. And I've referenced this before, but I don't believe many people watch it. When they were getting ready to launch Appmon, and they were doing like
The
an
giant Gatchmon suit.
they were doing an Appmon panel at it was like the Tokyo Game Show, and it's on stage, and the stage has a long ramp, and the Gatchmon mascot trying to walk up the ramp, and it 100% couldn't. Like it would take a step, and then it would like fall back, and finally the person in the suit turns sideways and starts shuffling. See, I know for a fact Dev was one of the few people who was watching it, so she
Yeah, I
knows what I'm
missed
talking about.
this.
This is like 3 in the morning or some
Yes,
shit.
like
this
so.
is
Here's the thing: the
fantastic.
Gashmon head is so big on the costume that the person trying to walk it up, you'd see the head start to tip back, and they'd like have to shuffle backwards to not fall over. And finally, they give
Oh.
up. They turn sideways, and they just start doing like a shuffle left, just to the right to get up. And it takes like a good 90 seconds or so for them to get up a small ramp. And the whole time, I'm just fucking losing it.
This is bringing back flashbacks to a cosplay contest.
Oh, it was so, and like
oh my god,
and it's great to say because I know Dev watched it and was laughing her ass off too because they
That's
clearly did
amazing.
not test
See,
if that costume could do it.
The thing is, those things
this.
are very top heavy, and
Yeah.
one of my friends has a Terriermon mascot style.
Well, here's
suit
the
and
thing though.
Got blown away going outside.
I'm picturing this whole time while this whole thing is happening. I'm just trying. I'm overlaying it with the Gatchmon ringtone.
I don't think the clip exists, but I'm putting it both in our private chat and the
I've
one
seen
for
the
the YouTube.
costume.
Well, no, the reason why I want you to see is to see how much shorter the costume is than the Agumon one and how much of it is head specifically. So you can see like how hard it is to move in that thing. So the idea that the head kept tipping the whole suit over is fucking hilarious.
It's on YouTube. There's a compilation of Japanese mascot fails where like they're trying to like get places or just getting knocked over or blown over or stuck trying to get onto trains. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to watch that just so I can go back and watch those choreographed lineups of like 20 Pikachu all managing to be in unison and just be even more impressed by those.
Yeah.
One time, one of the Pikachu was deflating, so basically,
everyone's seen that one. Everyone's seen that one where they go out and grab. Yeah.
I'm always up for a good Pikachu lineup video.
And then, not quite mascots, but hey, we get more of those where they're designed to look like little kids fucking around plushies. I like that Gomamon gets some energy here. Because, man, for the ones that only get although this is like
Gomamon is a child messing around, so...
Yeah. I guess the question is of these three, which one looks the nicest? I feel like it's probably Tailmon, to be honest.
Yeah, because Patamon's ears look a little like weird.
Yeah.
And the side of the head looks kind of.
You know what it is? They're the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's. I honestly like the Gomamon expression.
The Gomamon's one's great.
That expression just feels really Gomamon to me.
Yeah, it does.
Tailmon just seems very. It's cat-like, but it's not quite the essence of Tailmon for me.
Now, these are out June 3rd in
Not
Crane.
Enough Murder.
These are out June 3rd in Crane Games, but I'm told people don't like gacha type things, so I assume no one will go for them.
Yeah.
I think you guys have heard that also, right?
Gotcha.
And then,
anyway,
so I don't know, my friends invited me to round 1 for their birthday, and it was full of gacha machines, and I was so bad.
Oh.
So we get the Metal Greymon and Weragarumon Shoto figures, but so let's go over these first. It appears it looks like there may not be a normal retail equivalent of these. These are premium Bandai special editions only. One, the paint on these, the Shotos have actually looked rather nice. These blow them all away entirely.
Yeah, really. These are amazing.
Yeah. And then the accessories are really nice. It also makes you realize just how much shit Metal Greymon has compared to where Garurumon.
Garurumon has a lot of wings.
Yes. But yeah, these look nice. Now, they definitely are upcharging the price compared to the normal ones. I'm
Yeah,
still
because
probably
they
going to
average
get them.
about like $12 normally, give or take.
Yeah, the special editions were about 50 for, it was like 45 or 50 for the three of them with the stands and the special packaging. Here, it's basically 55 for two. I'm not that bothered because these look so, like, I'm looking at like even the mold detailing is nice. Even stuff like the Alteros blade opening up to be the cannon. Like, I'll be
It
honest,
looks
when
fucking good, and the
I know,
posability.
yeah, I'll be honest, when it first went up, I went, oh, they're doing like some new premium Shoto line that these are, and that's why they've only been showing silhouettes. Like, these do look like a different grade than the ones we've seen, I think, personally.
I want them.
Yeah, I haven't ordered yet because I'm waiting to see Premium Bandai USA adds them. But yeah, like,
There's a good
it,
chance of it.
yeah, but even if, intermediary fees and everything, that will be 75, and I'm probably dumb enough to get them because these really look. I really like want these, and I have the other 9, and the other 3 just came the other day. So it's like in my head that better keep going. Don't want to miss out.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
how they get you.
and Dev's probably going to buy these also. And
Hit or
unfortunately,
miss.
it appears because this is a set that will not be sold separately. It only comes with one piece of gum.
God damn it.
Come on.
Betrayal.
Hey, you guys
I want
mock,
my
but
Mr.
you guys
Clean
mock,
flavor.
but I'm fucking you mailing that shit for a Christmas special. It's literally just gonna be like in like a letter envelope taped to a piece of paper, and it's gonna be like gum bitch or something like that.
Get in, loser, reading gum.
Exactly. Like that's gonna be like our Christmas end of the year special is I mailed AR and Dev the gum, and they'll let us know what they think. And the sad part is the sad part is
Digimonica is introducing a bunch of cool little side things that
see
obscure stuff that we haven't had a chance to unleash, and Christmas special is us eating bad
see
gum.
that's the funny part is if Digimonica has done this year, that's basically what's gonna be is that I haven't had the time to do all the scanning and editing. So like if I want to this year, it's just an embarrassment of riches of stuff. Because there just hasn't been the time to do it. So it won't be scrounging for what will the 8 days be. It'll be like, oh shit, I have 20 things. What should I do? Because here's the thing. I have at this point all 3 special waves of the Shoto figures, so that's 9 figures already. Uh, various Blu-rays and other discs and CDs that just haven't had time to scan, and I'm buying the stuff for myself anyways.
Well, there's also the Diablomon and Omegamon figure that should be coming, and I have like a little
Oh, that's true.
photography set thing up for it.
Oh, see, that's even better. I only have to write it then. I don't have to do the actual work.
Exactly.
Yeah, and moving on from figures, it's the figure that everyone wants, and everyone is confused what they will do. It's a teaser for Fig Arts Imperial Digimon Fighter mode, so we're reasonably sure it's gonna be another premium color edition. But the thing is there's no parts to give him like with the others. Like with Omegamon, they fixed up the shoulders, so the other ones did. They fixed up the cape. They made everything a little bit nicer. Alphamon, they did all the Oryuken stuff. The
And the
fig
color is
arts
sexy.
the fig arts for fighter mode, like they can paint it nicer, but this is actually the premium color edition where I'm pretty sure everything you would expect fighter mode to have did come with the last one, didn't it?
I'll have to check. I mean, I have it in a box
Yeah.
in my closet.
Yeah, I mean this was the
So.
first fig arts back in 2014, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see how nice this looks because they don't have like, oh, it has a better cape now, or it has, they actually have to sell it on just how nice it looks. So let's see how it looks when they announce it soon.
They could always add more like special effects,
Yeah, that's true.
like
In fact, you could
attack
argue
add-ons.
that's the teaser. In fact,
Very true.
where it's just the silhouette and we get the lightning. Now, the interesting thing is seeing this as a thumbnail. You know what I actually thought it was for a moment? As a thumbnail, I thought it was gonna be the components that make Skull Knightmon. Because when it was really small, the wings kind of look like the big leg things.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
because like I'm talking about, like it was only like 200 pixels across as a thumbnail.
Yeah.
So I thought it was gonna be those two in like a fig arts that would combine or something weird like that. And then I'm like, oh,
I
it's
would
Imperial
buy it.
Digimon. That makes more sense. Yeah. And then just a couple hours ago, Digimon calendar for June. Nothing super exciting here that we didn't know about, minus that, more teasers for Digi Navi on the 18th. Short 4, something for Digimon Partners. They're going to say something about DigiFest, and then more product updates. They're not doing any huge teasers about anything specific this time, so I'm expecting. We'll see, but I expect it's not quite as crazy as some of the other recent ones have been, where it feels like those ones were super hyper focused on the Vital Bracelet and some other stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Has the Agumon mascot been at the last few? I don't think he had. I think if he has, he's only walked out for a bit. I don't remember. But yeah,
I
and
still
that.
want it.
Oh, I've we've been making that joke since 2014, Dev.
Yes, but it hasn't stopped being true.
Yeah,
When they
yeah.
roll the Agumon out, do they still have the have Sakamoto voice lines for it?
Well, to be fair, she never did that all that much. I think total that's only been maybe like 5 times.
Mm.
And in fact, I think 2 of them were the first 2 Diginavis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
they
that's what
they
I
don't. But those ones, Agumon was theoretically a co-host. Like they had the
Yeah.
Agumon suit sitting there the whole time with the
Yeah.
person miming responses to what's being said. That has to be fucking horrible to do.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wondering like if that's part of
No,
the
the recent
equation when you're rolling Agumon in.
well, because the first one had to do with the show and the movie, and the second one was some follow up to that. So those, like the first one, it had the big movie stuff, so it was a bit
Mhm.
more cartoon advertising. At least that's how it felt. Um, so card stuff. Man, we got a lot of weird card shit this time. So we have
A
all
lot
the
of cute
parallel.
parallels.
So we have all the parallel cards for Booster 6, and we need to talk about this fucking Omegamon card again. Because
God, it's fucking gorgeous.
so here's the thing. When they first announced it, they're like, oh, and in the distribution will be a special 1 year. It's the first Omegamon card from last year, but it has the nice design. It turns out it's far more rare than we expected, with even stores reporting that they're opening up multiple retail cases and not finding them. Like, they're hyper, and they're already going for more than like 1,600 at this point.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
Like, so here's the thing. This is where I would say it's not scalping. If you have it, sell it, because it doesn't actually affect the game in any way. It does not affect playability in any way.
You'd have to be insane to play with a card like that anyway.
Oh no,
Right?
I believe so. I think someone on our forum actually got one. Actually, like opened up a case and got one. I don't remember if I made the post, but I believe it was going to say either decide your time to sell it or frame it and decide you're never getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Because one, it is a nice card, but this is also a card that one already got a normal and a parallel card. It's getting another parallel card that we know of. I'm 100% okay with anyone selling this because it affects nothing. It does not affect anyone's ability to play with it, to do anything, or to have BT1084 as a card in their deck. I'm 100% happy with someone selling this for whatever the fuck they want. Because it has no effect on the game. Go ahead and pay off your bills.
Cash money.
Yeah. So
Build
we
an
also,
entire new computer funded by it.
yeah. Well, not right now. Computer
Yeah.
prices now are fucked.
God damn fucking cryptocurrency mining.
It's not really that, to be honest. It's not. Like, that's a small part of it right now. It is that it's the overall chip shortage. The cryptocurrency mining is a small part of it right now. Because even before that blew up, like, I know,
There's low supply on like everything right now, so
it's not specific to that. It's, yeah.
just low
So,
supply, high demand on pretty much everything
yeah,
you can buy.
yeah.
This makes me sad.
So we have a new printable playmat for Booster Set 6. Not any shock that uses the Kazuna evolution artwork, but oh, that's pretty. And look, it's Wolverine. And then we have details for Booster Set 7 Next Adventure. It appears it's going to be frontier heavy. So we get various Digimon related to hybrid forms. We expect Suzanumon, Kaiser Greymon, anime character cards. So we're expecting, tamer cards of the frontier, and plenty of adventure cards they want people to know.
We've gotten Takuya and Koji before, though, haven't we?
No, I don't believe
We
we
have not
have.
actually. Okay.
No,
Oh.
we have
Yeah, because
Digimon. We do
we've
not
got
have them.
Agumon and Wolfmon, but
Yeah,
not. Okay.
yeah. That goes back to my card theory of how they decide the stuff, where we get the major theme and we get minor themes that can be connected, but they will never go overboard with the minor theme. So since we got since we got a few Digimon in Booster Set 4, along with a new gameplay concept, that had savers characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that also can help sometimes with some distribution and rules for the game, because if there's enough dissemination with the Agumon and Wolfmon cards, then when you introduce Takuya and Koji, you could conceivably have those connected to those Digimon if those are already in play.
Exactly. Then we have an interview with card game producer Goto P. It's very much a marketing interview, but nothing that shocking, to be honest, but interesting to read. I like that they show us his current red deck, which I'm sure people are staring at that, figuring out what might be useful to them, especially since it includes Booster Set 6 stuff. Let's see. Trying to decide if I want to comment on any of the parallel cards, because the Omegamon one's like the fancy one we have to talk about. But so many of those are so nice, like the Agumon and Gabumon one with Nyaramon and Tokomon. I just like that.
It was adorable.
Yeah. And I have to be honest, the Terriermon one from the 1 year vote, that's a cute card.
Especially with Lotmon on, it's like, oh my god.
And
yes, bunnies.
And everyone trying to figure out if Aldemon's Shonen Hero jump pose, which that's not an uncommon shonen pose, everyone's like, Naruto did that pose once, and Aldemon is voiced by Naruto.
Shonen
oh no, every shonen hero has done that pose. But people very much recognize that a marketing image of Naruto does that pose, and that's Gomamon's voice actor for both.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we got 2 videos of Cody and Hideyoshi auditioning Cody's replacements for Fun Digica. So looking at the 4 choices, it feels like 2 of them are fake. So the first batch, and I didn't catch any of their names. We have a woman, and she's like, she has the nice white outfit, and then the guy comes in wearing like a fake Super Sentai outfit with a cardboard hat, and like the fins are cardboard. Very energetic though. And the second one, the other guy shows up in like a suit, and he's holding like the thing. Someone pointed out he looks like Goda from I don't remember what that one series is called. Like big guy falls in love. But he's like, it's like he showed up in like a business outfit, and that's a setup. It has to be, right?
I mean, I would hope with these videos you have some fun with them and have a
Yeah.
couple of weirdos.
Yeah. But yeah, it feels like we're supposed to think that the real choices are the normal looking guy in the striped shirt or the woman with the Digivice on her belt, who I think's wearing a Vital bracelet, actually. I don't know why I didn't notice that before.
Because we're not paying that much attention.
Yeah, I feel like it's not gonna be. I feel like it's not gonna be Super Sentai Power Ranger guy. And Ramon, just to let, since he's asking, Hideyoshi is not leaving. Cody is. And they also had Kokolo and Goto P helping. And I like how the best part is at the end of part 2, they line them all up to announce
And shoot
that
them.
they will announce the winner in the future. Like they really did the fake setup of announcing and then blah.
Couldn't they have at least dropped one off a platform or something? Like just the floor falls out of one of them and one of them's eliminated.
Yeah, I don't think they
And then
let
the
you
rest.
do. I don't think they let you do that anymore due to insurance.
Oh,
They
Yeah.
should just
that was
have like a
fun.
straight up like Takeshi's Castle or Wipeout
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, honestly, I think Takeshi's Castle should be the final round of the auditions, but
See, they know that could be a Diginavi. They make them do it to get information.
don't get eliminated.
Yeah. And then we got two See, this is where once again it feels like they're catching up on Mon memos they skipped. They did two within like 20 minutes of each other, where one's clearly written to like wait until next time, where they go over all the evolution requirements for Blizzard Fang and Volcanic Beat. So, yeah. And then,
Order the thing.
how fun is it that we get to talk about Digimon video games? Aren't you guys so excited?
Speaking of mid-boss,
Bandai put up a Digimon game portal site. Just very. They've never done this before. It's not like there's the skeleton of the old game community site sitting there that has been unused since a few months after Hacker's Memory came out. And they go over the games that came out in Japan. They skip a few mobile things. And Digimon Survive still listed for 2021. And I felt kind of bad when people were messaging me going like, this has to mean that like it's coming out this year, right? Like, and
it means they haven't announced a delay yet.
So here's the thing. And when people ask me this, here's my honest answer. My heart says yes, but then I flash back and I think, well, they released that documentary a month before they announced the delay. When the documentary, you'd feel like that's like the beginning of hardcore advertising. And then a year ago, when a delay was announced, they went, "There's no delay. That's they made a mistake." And then they didn't say shit for half a year. And like, so it's kind of hard to gauge like how serious. And logically, yes, if they're putting up a new site, it's probably a reason. But I would have said that to the other two things.
They
You know what I
haven't
mean?
announced a delay yet. And
And
if they're going to announce a delay, this isn't how they're going to do it.
no. Yeah, but I also understand the excitement of people going, "Oh, they've put up a game site and it says 2020." I can 100% understand the excitement of that, but it's kind of non-news.
The excitement is they remember it still exists.
Do they, or just like they happen to see a name on a sheet?
Name
like,
on
oh,
sheet
right,
is still
have
remembering it.
on this.
Okay,
Yeah.
they were informed that it still exists.
Yeah, so we'll see what pops up over the next few months. Bandai often does their game summer thing. They're doing stuff at E3. They're doing stuff at what's it called? The summer whatever the Geoff Keighley thing is. That's happening over weeks and weeks. So we'll see. They have to announce shit at some fucking point. It seems like because it feels like we're past the point of like the game expiring, doesn't it?
Speaking of tactical games, I actually just got my copy of Disgaea in, and I'm going to play that again.
How do you think Digimon Survive will compare to Disgaea, Jeff?
It's kind of just going to be a piece of shit, but I'm going to play it anyway.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
And then we have a new Digimon profile. How to read the Digimon Encyclopedia. Or, as I call it, this feels like filler.
Feels
Cause like, yeah, cause it's like, oh, this is the Digimon's name. Sometimes Digimon have actual names, and this is not it. This is the name of that species, and this is the. There's no actual information here. It's kind of neat, but like the most interesting thing here is that Agumon Hakase is reading his own.
He's really bearing down on his self-discovery.
Yeah.
Maybe he's checking his own Wikipedia page for errors.
I mean, there are plenty of them.
Oh, I know. I know plenty of. I know enough people with Wikipedia pages that that love to talk about their own things that's wrong, that have it wrong.
Huh.
He looks so angry.
Must have
Wouldn't
found
you?
one.
And then the new poll is, which Numamon do you want to be with during the rainy season? And it feels like this was not only inspired by the date, but that they already had social art for this from years ago.
You have no idea what to make of this question.
Yeah, I kind of put no thought into it, didn't vote on, just went, okay, well, that's when I'm posting at 2:20 a.m.
The answer is Platinum Numamon because you get more experience that way if he's
Yeah,
next
but
to
the
you.
problem there is it means you have to play Cyber Sleuth for that to matter. And
Now who's being hyperbolic?
okay, AR, do you want to play Cyber Sleuth again?
Actually, had played Cyber Sleuth. My kid wanted me to play it a while ago, so he
No,
wanted me to get
here's the
back
thing.
into it.
But here's the thing: you do stuff you don't like. You do stuff you don't want to for younger relatives.
If I
Like,
actually, to be perfectly honest, if I felt compelled to give it more to buy it on Steam, I actually would play it again. On PS4, I wouldn't be interested, but that's really the only barrier for me.
fair enough. And then we have some Tamers updates. So first, the script is done. They have it. They're looking over it, and Konaka said it is an extension of the 2018 audio drama, which that doesn't really mean anything at the moment. That could mean that the characters are adults. That could mean that it's the next scene.
Yeah, well, yeah, like a follow-up would be. It feels like it would be a little inaccessible for Digifest.
I mean,
So I could see it being
to,
a
to be
not that
fair,
yeah, not that he wouldn't do that.
to be yeah, that was the thing. To be fair, how accessible was Tamers 2018 really?
Oh, I thought it was it's accessible. I thought it was fine. The actual content of it, I had notes.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. And then, so I'm him talking about Tamers. I'm gonna try to keep continuing this, but man, I'm abridging them far more than I did before because it's become untenable to actually try to do it to any real degree.
Even I'm only
He
picking
just
the
not
episodes I
stop
really want to
talking.
know more
Yeah,
about.
yeah. Like that thing is if I would like even the old ones when he was going nuts. I was doing maybe 30 to 60% of the detailed stuff.
Mhm.
And the thing is it's getting to be so much that it's a single page can take 20, 30 minutes to go through. And that's just not happening. So the
We got
music one,
shit to do.
the music ones I mostly went through properly. And 25 I went through properly. And then when I got to 26, I'm like, I can't fucking do this. It's just not realistic.
This is one reason I'm proud of the fact that I keep my reviews between like 700 to 800 words. I keep mine digestible. I don't like write tomes about every
Yeah.
episode.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy he's doing it, but
Oh,
like,
it's great. It's just a lot to sift through.
yeah, like his favorite Bill and Ted movie is the second one. We know that now. As
Bad
useless
choice,
fucking
actually. That Bogus Journey is solid.
yeah.
Very solid.
So here's the weird thing. As a kid, that was the one I preferred, and no one seem to prefer Bogus Journey when I was younger. It feels like people become more positive about it in recent years.
Yeah, preferring it over the first one is a tall ask.
To be
but
fair, I'm talking about when I was like
liking it,
10 or 12.
yeah, but like liking it and appreciating
Yeah.
it, that's more what we're going for.
And to be fair, it has William Sadler in it, which automatically makes a movie better.
But just the fact that the dub episode was called Kazu and Kenta's Excellent Adventure, so he's goes
Talking
off
about
on
Bill
a
and
tangent
Ted.
about Bill and Ted just because of that.
And I let him
love
know,
that
and
so
I let it,
much.
and I let him know that Bill and Ted 3 was good, and that his main concern is perfectly fine, and he was happy about that tweet, because his concern was that he hasn't seen it, because
Keanu couldn't play.
he's kind of afraid of Keanu, who's like, as much as people used to give him shit, he's actually a pretty good actor. It's
Yeah.
just what the role is. People are like, can Keanu still play that kind of idiot? And 100% yes, he can.
I mean,
Have you seen Bill and Ted 3?
No, I haven't. But even if you thought Keanu wasn't a great actor, he could still play the role. Like that's
Yeah.
still his role.
Yeah. Oh, it's shockingly good, the movie.
Excellent.
Yeah. But like him going like, School Ghost Story of the Spectre, it was inspired by Bill and Ted. The young writers behind Bill and Ted are among the most outstanding young writers of their generation. And he's just like writing all this nice stuff about Bill and Ted. It's like, wow, and I'm pretty sure he misunderstood the entire reason why that episode title was chosen.
Because dub titles just pick random movies to reference.
So the dub titles are references. The impression that I get from how he words it, he seems to think that the Japanese title was a movie reference to Nausicaa. So they picked a different movie reference that the West would understand more. And that isn't
more
quite
impressed that the Japanese title reference Nausicaa. Usually the Japanese titles are the ones that need to have more effort.
Yeah. But yeah,
I want to know what he thought about. I'm looking over the episode titles for the dub. I want to know what he thought about the Boer Wars, the for Karalamon episode. Oh my god, I'm coming to blame it on Rio.
Well,
That's
a
another
lot of these he probably wouldn't even be familiar with them being references. It just happens that one's so obvious you can't miss it if you've seen the movie.
Blame It on Rio is such a good title, though. That is a fantastic reference.
But yeah, so I have no idea how often I'll post these. These may be when I have time, maybe every 2 or 3 weeks, because at some point they end. But Jesus, he really can write a lot. It's kind of shocking how much he's writing.
With each batch, he keeps writing more and more and more.
But it's also like, man, you had a script to write and you did this. What's he gonna do now that the script's done?
I'm gonna have to tweet him and explain what the reference behind Azulongmon explains it all.
I don't think he cares. I mean, I would like to know, but
yeah, I'm like, so yeah, there was this Nickelodeon show in the 90s.
Yeah, it is just random references.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
there is a lot of Shakespeare in the Tamers.
I mean,
there's a lot of Shakespeare in everything.
And then
Tamers really goes overboard with the Shakespeare.
And then we have art. So first up, the reference book has added Gold Numemon and Black King Numemon. Look at that mustache.
So
That is a fabulous mustache.
And then we get social art of God Dramon and Holy Dramon. And I don't know, something's weird about this one to me. I think it's like the way they kind of had to like give Holy Dramon like a coherent body.
Yeah.
Because like,
oh my god, I know exactly what it looks like. It's the same pose as Pedo Bear.
Oh my god, I wish you hadn't said that, because now that's the only thing I see.
I wish I hadn't thought it.
I was going to say that Holy Dramon is a lot less Falcor than usual, but now, oh my, damn it.
And also, like, the eyeball is kind of, like, going back towards, like, right under the ear.
Well, the eyeball is basically just the 20th anniversary Agumon eye, more or less.
Yeah, but just, like, the placement is kind of, like...
Yeah, the placement's a little weird.
And then, the Kenji Watanabe art's fucking great. I'm sorry, I love how it's...
Every time he draws something, I'm just absolutely delighted, because it just looks so fucking good.
Yeah, and I love how it's black and white except the blast, even when the blast is splitting off.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And the part that I like though, and which I'm not sure how much it's been noticed, Tai Chi's in the picture. There's a very
Oh yeah, I could
there's a
barely
very
see it.
there's
Just
a
like
very tiny Tai Chi standing on War Greymon's shoulder, like hanging on to the spike.
That's scaled even more weird than usual, but it's a cool little Easter egg.
It's amazing. And then before we move on to questions, while you guys in the chat can throw them out, we have something important for you to see. And I can't wait for this to pop up in AR's feed.
Oh no.
oh no.
Oh, I think I saw that. I think
Yeah.
I think we. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Brady, one of the producers at Discotheque, was throwing up teasers for Project Aiko extras. I looked at them
Yeah.
like, and,
I saw that.
and I'm like, Koji Ito, he was the one who did the animation designs and was the animation director for Try. He didn't animate much. Generally, you can tell if he animated some of it because it was the really, really nice stuff. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, this is actually relevant to Digimon. So, hey. And yeah, I did retweet that, but I just thought it was funny enough to include.
And he was involved with Project Aiko.
Yes, he was
Wow.
he was a key animator and did the assistant director for any mecha based animation. And this would have
Oh.
Nice.
been 35 actually.
Yeah, I was like,
No, like
that's
38 years ago actually about.
yeah. That's why I'm so impressed because
Yeah.
Project Aiko
He
is
looks like how my
old.
one uncle did during the 80s.
Well, yeah, that was the thing is when the entire reason it got posted was Brady was like, "Isn't this just the coolest guy you've ever seen?" Because it's like
Like my uncle had that exact mustache and hair.
well,
I'm
it's
not
Yeah,
going
mine
to lie.
too.
where
Mine too.
it looks like they gave him the sunglasses for the video. Where like
Yeah,
you need,
my uncle doesn't have the sunglasses, but yeah,
yeah,
definitely that was definitely his hair and mustache
Mine
in the
did.
80s.
Mine
yeah.
did.
Oh god.
So
And he
yeah,
used me to pick up girls all the time because, like, I'm gonna borrow insert name here to, I'm gonna like take her for a walk or like let's go to the carousel, and then like, oh, your tiny relative is so adorable. It's like, yes, I'm babysitting. I'm good with children. Date me.
so you were
Yep.
the you were the you
That sounds like an uncle that would be wearing that mustache and hairstyle in the 80s.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
man. And then we have questions. So someone said it hasn't been talked about in a while, and they were wondering if we had ever seen the Pocket Zaurus cartoon and if it felt like Digimon at all. So we should explain what this is. When Digimon first began development, it was going to be called Capsule Zaurus, and it appears the idea was that it was going to be a follow-up to an old Bandai franchise called Pocket Zaurus, which got a cartoon in the West, and like Saban did music for it, and I may have seen some clips. I don't believe I ever saw it. I don't. I doubt
Me
any
either.
of
I
us did.
didn't even know it existed.
Yeah,
Yeah, me neither.
yeah, yeah. And Math Magician wants to know: despite all of us laughing at AR for being grumpy while giving good grades, if we had to rank the new series based on enjoyment compared to other seasons, where would it be?
Oh, jeez. That's unfair because I probably like as far as enjoyment, I think I like it the least, but that half of that is because not so much because of the series itself, but because of it's a bad harbinger of what I think the direction of the franchise is going
Yeah,
to
see,
go
that's inherently
into.
unfair and I
Yeah,
understand
it's like
why. I
that's
understand why,
totally
but
yeah.
yeah, it's not fair to the show to decide to do it based on, oh, 10 years from now, this may still be the franchise because the show doing well. But I understand why you're so worried about that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
So,
that's really hard for me to like if I was to
well,
yeah, you guys go and then I'll try to think about it like in a vacuum
it's
like if I'm thinking of this just as a one-off series and I know whatever comes
yeah.
next is going to be something
So
completely different.
I'm kind of in the same situation you are, but for a different reason. It's hard for me to judge the show fairly, and this is kind of well, it's related to another question that we'll get into later. I watch a lot of anime for work, and Adventure is inherently oh, I'm gonna go sit on the couch and relax for half an hour, watch a cartoon. I'll write about it for a few minutes, and then I get to talk about it on a podcast a few days later.
That's another
So
thing is I have to write a review about
yeah,
this,
so it's
which
inherently me.
affects things too. Like
It's
this
inherent.
is yeah.
Yeah, it's inherently me relaxing for a bit before dinner on a Saturday. I write for a couple minutes, so the mood is generally, hey, I'm going to relax. It's not something I would normally be doing for work, and so I'm generally not in a bad mood, watching it. So it's one of those things where, like, enjoyment, even the bad ones, I kind of enjoy, to be honest, because I'm kind of fully accepting of what it is, even when I don't like it. And I
Bad
know
ones
that,
of what do you mean
Like
by
we're
the
watching a
bad ones
children's cartoons of
of
monsters and robots and
I mean,
well,
do
that,
you
beating
mean
each
the
other
bad
up.
ones of this series or bad episodes of previous Digimon series?
I'm talking about this series.
Okay.
Because even the bad ones are kind of fun to watch. And that's generally true of Digimon overall.
Right, but how does this compare to other series is what the
See,
question was.
oh, I no, I'm explaining my perspective of where I'm going to rank it because you're going to get upset.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I get more enjoyment out of it than Tamers. It's not better than Tamers, but I think as far as like sitting here and enjoying it, I think I enjoy it a bit more. And it's also been a long time since I've sat through Tamers properly, though. So I'd say I'd
Once
probably,
Konaka's done with his thing, I'm probably gonna marathon Tamers.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I feel like I would. I feel like I'm getting really close to another Tamers
yeah,
marathon.
but yeah. So I feel like actual enjoyment. I think I enjoy it more than Tamers, partially because anytime Tamers comes up nowadays, it's specifically news only or having to write gobs of notes and shit.
Yeah, how does what does the translating all of Konaka's
Yeah,
ranting
yeah,
does that lower the
but
grade a
but
little bit?
see, that's the thing is like it's not basically yes, because anytime I deal with Tamers nowadays, it's go
Work.
basically, yeah, it basically breaks down to spending hours on article stuff when theoretically the goal isn't even to have people read what I'm translating, it's to try to push them to go read it themselves. I'm trying to like write down the interesting stuff so
Yeah,
they go,
yeah.
no, there's more interesting stuff, go read it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
eh.
But anyway, well, okay, you have it above Tamers. Where does it fall with other stuff?
See,
Like where
it's
does it fall
interesting, like,
against like Original Adventure and 02 and
so
all
like,
those?
okay, for enjoyment, I feel
Yeah.
like at the moment I'd say maybe like Adventure and Try or Tide at the top.
Mm-hmm.
O I feel like Crosswords and O2 I kind of have tied at the moment. And here's the thing, it's been a long time since I've watched either of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like but like anytime I get to hear about Crosswords nowadays, it's always something fun and it brings up, good memories about it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Um
Yeah.
and I
No, yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
I feel like then I feel like Tamers and Frontier are kind of tied underneath that at the moment. Because like Frontier can be really fucking terrible, but it's kind of fun when it does come up and when I think about watching it. Because that was one where like I couldn't watch it live because it was in the middle of starting college and classes. So when I revisited it fully a couple years later, it was kind of nice to sit there and just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Tamers is kind of in the middle for me, to be honest. So I'd say Adventure's a notch above that, but maybe it would kind of bump Frontier above the current show.
Okay.
Dev?
Mm, hard to say because like Crosswords and Tamers are kind of like tied at the top for me,
Crosswords is very
and
fun.
Yeah, that's
Crosswords
the
is just
thing.
pretty much everything I like about Digimon because I'm an obsessive fucking nerd, so having them put in like all these little references and things to like other parts of the franchise, like holy shit, I know what that is.
Cross Wars does a lot of the same things as this reboot,
It
but
just
it
gives
gets a
us more
lot of the other
Did it
stuff.
better.
But it gets a lot of the other stuff that I have a problem with this one just a little bit better. Like it still makes some of the same mistakes, but not as drastically as this one.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
I
is
would
like
agree with
kind of
that.
like right in the middle. Like I really enjoy it, but it's not my favorite. Like, there's
Yeah,
some parts of it that are
I would
like,
agree with that.
hell yes, and other parts is like, okay, this just feels like a chore to watch. So
Yeah, yeah, I think that makes sense. And next up, this is one that kind of fell into
Oh,
the.
I was gonna answer that.
Oh,
I was gonna answer
I
the question.
forgot you didn't answer because you kind of went first, so I kind of forgot, to be
Right. Well, I
honest.
was explaining why the
Yeah,
question's difficult,
no,
and
absolutely.
I
Go ahead.
think despite for all that you said, I think I'd still have Frontier at the bottom for me because
Really,
I
that's
think that
interesting.
I do think this series is still marginally above Frontier in terms of quality, and there are parts of Frontier that I just really don't enjoy watching at all. And as fun as some of the other stuff is, it doesn't quite hold that balance.
See,
So I think it's still
I think for me, Atmon kind of falls into that where I like Atmon and it has a lot of great moments. But the more I kind of flash back and think, there's a lot of Atmon that's a slog, and kind of what you just said about Frontier.
yeah. Well, the parts of Atmon that are a slogger for me still a lot of fun to watch, even if they aren't good. Like there's some of the filler in the middle of Atmon is really awful writing, but
Yeah.
it's still enjoyable for me. So where it really comes down for me with this series is after above Frontier is whether this comes above Hunters or not. And I think this is still going to notch a little bit above Hunters. So I think it's still going to be like I
You
guess
didn't say the key word. Emmy
which one?
nominated Hunters.
Emmy nominated Hunters. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a notch above Hunters and Frontier, but below everything else.
Fair
Trying
enough
to find an
answer.
order as far as enjoyment is kind of interesting because then I probably would put Atmon. I think I still have Tamers number one, but I think I'd put Atmon above Try. Like I think Try is better than Atmon, but Try is a very intense watch. So I don't know, it's a lot to go through.
True.
So, how much you're actually enjoying yourself watching it is it really depends on what kind of mood you're in.
True. And the next up, this one fell into what I like to call the notepad pit, where someone sent it in, it got copied into the notepad document, and then a different notepad document was opened for the questions that week, so it sort of sat by itself for a couple weeks.
nom 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 nom.
So someone wants to know if we had the ability to downplay one aspect of modern Digimon design choices, which one would it be? So I kind of have an issue with the question because it's sort of not that different than it ever was. Like we can point to
Sometimes they just
examples,
add more spikes.
but most of those examples existed long ago. It's more
I
complaints.
see. I don't. I think the problem with the question is that current modern Digimon design choices are still pretty all over the place, which I
Yeah,
kind of like. Like they still do give you a lot of the big pointy stuff, but then they still throw you like Palmumon and
yeah,
Pulsemon, and those are still plenty. There's still enough diversity. I mean, obviously having a million Pulsemon branches is kind of a chore to get through, but there's a logical reason for that.
yeah.
So like
Uh,
you forgive all the Pulsemon variants because you gotta pad that out for the Vital Bracelet.
yeah.
So I guess if there's only one choice, it would be it's almost not a criticism, but I would almost warn that not every Digimon needs to have an X antibody form. I don't think we're close to that yet.
Oh, I
So
okay.
it's not really
That gave me the idea for a good one. The Digimon that's designed to be popular. Like
well, yeah.
where they point out doing the design of Pulsemon, where like almost every single Pulsemon evolution, especially the adult forms, were themed off well like Digimon.
Hmm.
Where like so like once you hear that, and you're like, oh, everyone sort of said this one looked like Lydramon. And then when you hear that they actually were like looking at Lydramon and designing it
Yeah,
on
and they had
purpose
a
that
lot of
way.
notes on. There were a lot of notes with that on Pulsemon where they got the inspiration for that from.
Yeah. But yeah, so the thing is,
Gotta
Digimon
go
design just
fast.
doesn't feel like it ever really changed. It's just people are pickier now and more likely to complain about the ones they don't like. And it's easier to hear the complaints, especially.
Which almost tells you that they're doing things right because there's still a good variety out there.
Yeah.
Palmamon is baby.
Pabumon is baby.
Yeah.
And so no matter how many pointy X antibody forms they come out, you still have Pabumon.
And then question from Galhart. For fun, place your bets on how long before Leomon bites the dust. I kind of don't care because as much as people complain about it, they never shut up about it as a gag. So fans clearly want it to happen because they've been saying it
I want it to
nonstop.
happen. I want to see him
I
die.
totally want it to happen. Yeah.
I
actually think this is going to be the series where they don't do it.
I mean, they've not done it
really
before. Cross Wars ends with Leomon alive, more alive than he was at the beginning of the show.
I mean, technically, Cross Wars killed Leomon 3 times.
But Leomon, I see. That one he died and came back.
No,
so.
they killed a zombie that was already dead.
Yeah, they killed. I mean, I know what you mean. They killed zombie. They killed Mad Leomon, and then he came back as Leomon. I still count that as a Leomon death. It still counts.
But see, then if he doesn't die, then someone's gonna go, well, this Digimon's a lion, and it did die, so it technically counts.
No.
And then we have to deal with that. And we all know that would happen.
Actually, they haven't really talked about. Oh, I guess they had with Angemon's death about how rebirth works in the series.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did kind of cover that a little bit. So.
I
think I would not be surprised at all if Leomon makes it through this. Because they're obviously aware of.
To kill off.
Yeah.
They're obviously aware of the trope.
Yeah.
I think that they're just gonna twist one on us just to be cute.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a good one. Someone wanted to know, you often talk about older franchises that fans underestimate. I'm not sure underestimate's the right word. It might be judge harshly. So do we have thoughts on Gundam Seed coming back?
Are we talking about underestimating Gundam in general or just Gundam Seed?
Well, I think they're wording that.
I mean, because underestimate Gundam at your own peril.
So I think what they're trying to say is Gundam Seed has been it's the one where fans go, oh, everyone hates Gundam Seed. It's not popular at all. When it was like
the only Gundam that I liked.
Because it was the Gundam that was theoretically a reboot. It was more action oriented. It was more super robot oriented in a way Gundam wasn't before. And fans tend to go, oh, no one likes Seed. Well, it's like the first Gundam that got a direct sequel, and now it's coming back. It's basically, it wasn't what Gundam was before, and that upset people.
Underestimate any aspect of the Gundam franchise at your own peril. That's where I'm coming down on.
Yes. So thoughts on Gundam Seed coming back? Sure, if the movie's good. I'm still waiting for my replacement Blu-rays for the remaster. Every single disc was fucked up.
A while since we had an update on that.
Did we actually do that during the show, or was that during the pre-show?
I think it's come up on the show. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, in theory,
you don't need to give us a refresher.
No, it's supposed to ship this week.
Oh wow.
So
timely,
yeah.
Then.
Yeah. So we'll see. Okay, what are our opinions on the Transformers Wiki? Basically, as a follow-up to this TV show. Transformers Wiki is the wiki every show wiki should aspire to be, and not the only person in charge of it, but the main reason would be Chris McFeely, who ran most of the early Digimon
stuff. McFeely running it? Because I've never been to the Transformers Wiki, but it's like you guys are guessing over it. I assume McFeely's involved.
So here's the thing.
I mean, that's kind of what the Wikimon used to be like until some people, became hard asses and kept removing all my commentary from everything.
I still have his old Digimon encyclopedia bookmarked.
Yeah, I still host it.
Oh, you still okay?
I'm the host. The Transformers Wiki is effectively what every wiki should aspire to be, especially since it does not. It is one of the big fuck ups of wikis. Is they will often forget to tell you something or forget to link something important. So here's I'm going to pull up a great example here. Agumon. And I need to find this. 1 second. I need to find a specific card. Here we go. ST103. I'm going to link this to Dev, and then when she opens it up, I will ask her a question, which she can... Okay. You have the link, Dev?
Yeah, pulling it up.
Okay, open that up.
riveting stuff right here.
No, you'll love this.
Ooh.
Okay, ready?
Uh,
This is a specific one that has it loaded for you, Dev?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 questions about this card page, and I'll go ahead and link it in the chat so they can see. Okay, ready for my 2 questions? The first one, what is the name of the game this card is from?
Huh.
And the second is
It's
it does not list the name. It does not link a link to tell you about the card game itself. You can click a link to Starter Pack 1, but it's not there by name. It just says ST1. It doesn't explain, and it doesn't actually. It has a marker DCG, so for indexing, the person writing it knows it's the Digimon card game. It does not tell you the name of the card game or what it is.
nope.
It's so interested in giving you the information about the card, it's forgotten to give the reader the information they may not know looking at the page. Because even the categories, list of cards, ST1, list of Agumon
that
cards.
has all of the list of cards index has
Yeah.
everything, not just
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It doesn't give you the information that someone might go, oh, this is a neat Agumon card. I'm gonna look this up, ST1-03. They look it up. They get to the page. It even gives you a link to the illustrator's name, but it doesn't give you. It's forgotten actually important information.
Oh, it looks like the level and attributes and stuff aren't clickable on this template. Maybe it's on purpose.
But like most of the effort on the template is to make the template look like the card game. And that actually looks rather nice, to be honest. But it would be nice to have like the information you would need for the card. So yeah, that would be my example of where like TF Wiki works really well. Is that
TF Wiki is amazing.
It gives you the information, like it will even say it's from the sub series that involves blah 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 blah.
Then it's also a glorious giant shitpost at the same time, which is,
Yeah,
I admire.
it openly mocks what it's doing, especially when stuff's stupid. So that's
exactly.
Nice. Yeah, so
Anyway.
So I've always appreciated that. We'll go through the last few questions kind of quick since we're running a bit long.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to eat food.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll run through a bit quick. So someone wants to know that it hasn't come up much. Why don't I talk about my work all that much?
Didn't you just talk about your work like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, that's why I said it comes up in a question. Someone said, wouldn't it be relevant? It normally isn't. Like, here's the thing. If I talk about video, that's technically it. I just don't stop to go, and I work on Blu-rays. But like most of what I do just isn't relevant to us talking
Put
about
your credentials
Digimon.
in every conversation about video quality.
Yeah,
that would be irritating.
Yeah, and I go out of my way to not do that.
I only taser you if you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's relevant when someone goes, "Have you guys seen anything lately that'd be worth watching?" But even then, the choices are basically out of stuff that I happen to have watched for work. So it's normally not.
Doesn't always do the most. How much new stuff does Discotech get anyway? It's mostly
we did Konosuba.
Okay. Oh, that's legit.
Yeah. Magical Girl Ore just came out.
Okay, so a couple things. But
yeah, there is new
like
stuff.
The bulk of the catalog, is
a good chunk of it's legacy stuff. That if you're looking for legacy stuff, you're probably not asking like that. And like, here's the thing: when you ask, I answer honestly, but it's not really relevant to like us. It's not relevant to us talking about the dim cards, for example.
Also, when you're working on stuff, how often are you paying attention to how good the show is, and rather what technical aspects need to be
honestly
noted?
I try to, but even then, it's not like, for example, if I'm working on a movie now, it's not announced yet, so it's not like I can say anything.
Yeah.
So by the time I can say something, maybe it will be a few days, maybe it'll be 3 months from now. It's just not, in my head at the time. So yeah.
Okay.
So ignoring it as a Digimon series, how does 2020 compare to similar action shonen stuff? It's fine. I tend to prefer the
Yeah.
character stuff in shonen stuff, to be honest.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't tend to watch a lot of action shonen stuff, but I have to think that other action shonen stuff is better just
So
strictly on
it
the
it, it
characters
is
alone.
it is not on the character development that you seem to think exists, to be honest.
Well, not necessarily that I think exists, but just on having characters.
Yes and no. Goku was a great example, but we talked that one to death a few times.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's fine. It's not. I mean,
You
people
like
seem to be.
Digimon, you watch Digimon.
Here's the thing.
Right,
People are talking about.
that's
I see people talking about the new adventure show more than Die, and Die is supposed to be really good, but I don't see people talk about it all that much.
never heard of it.
The Dragon Quest show.
Oh, okay. No, I have
Yeah.
heard. Okay.
Eh.
And here's the thing. The Dragon Quest show is based on a manga from the person who wrote Crosswords. So I assume it's probably in that same vein, and it'd probably be something we love. But who
I'm
knows?
just never much of a Dragon Quest
Yeah.
person. Never really liked the art style that much.
And next up is a question for AR. AR.
I thought you were gonna toss that to me.
Oh, okay, I'll toss it to you. Do you
Yeah.
want me to toss it to you?
Well, it's just gonna ask me.
Okay. Is AR going to write more, and will it be harem a la Digimon?
It is not gonna be harem a la Digimon. I think I can't. I'm not probably done with Digimon for a while. I'm actually taking a break to start reading some stuff because I haven't really
Oh,
been
I need to
reading
read
as
so
much
much. I need
lately.
to read so
So I'm
much stuff.
trying to get back into that habit. But I do have a couple original story ideas that I want to kick around and tease out and world build a little bit before I really start tackling them. So whatever I write
If
next
you're
is
looking for fic
probably.
Rex, I can throw some at you.
What was that?
If you're looking for fic Rex, I can totally throw some at you.
Oh, I will take them, but I have a few fics I know I need to read. I'm on a fan fiction Discord, and a lot of the people who are on it, I know I need to get to reading their stuff.
I have a
So I'm
bunch of
probably gonna take
I have a
priority
bunch
of
of
that.
novels that are like stacked up digitally
That's
that I need to get to reading.
Oh my god, I've had a copy of Patrick Rothfuss's Name of the Wind for like since it was released like 12 years ago on my bookshelf. Since then, untouched, that I'm finally starting to read now. It's embarrassing how long I've had that without touching it. I've met Patrick Rothfuss and like still haven't read the book yet, which I even told him. He was just happy I had he had my money.
Yeah, oh god, like I'm flipping through just like the recent downloads. It's like, oh, the book where they edited all the stuff Iwata wrote together into a book.
Oh.
Howard Scott Warshaw from Atari did an autobiography. He's arguably the one who built the industry and destroyed it. So yeah,
That yeah.
just a bunch of different books. And it's like, man, this stuff is piled up.
Yeah.
Just because
Anyway,
I've not had the time.
I will write more in the future. It probably won't be Digimon, at least unless something really strikes me as something I need to get down on paper. But right now, I'm focusing on reading.
You're not gonna write the death of Taichi.
No, because I don't like those kinds of fics anyway. Like if I was gonna do it, I would be trying to make his character not suck. Like that's what I did with Tagiru, so that's the approach I would take with him. I mean, I already did the Taichi in this series is like an even worse form of Taiki from Cross Wars. Like it has the same problems as Taiki from Cross Wars on
He
an
doesn't.
even
He doesn't
worse,
count.
bigger
It
scale.
doesn't count unless Sora grabs a pillow at some point. If Sora grabs a pillow at some point, I'll agree with you.
Actually, that's the big part of the Never World. The first story I did was breaking down Taiki by having him be really horrible to Akari. So
Okay, and then last up, ignoring jokes. Why don't the DigiWikis talk about the Digibowl? Honestly, I was gonna throw this one to Dev, but we kind of covered this one. Like the card example, I think actually covers that one where people are kind of getting stuck in minutia and kind of not looking at things that people would look for.
something focused on minutia. Watch it. Watch a Digibowl article have like what the scores were of the match without explaining what it actually was.
Yeah, but
so in the first, in the Digi Bowl, hosted by Terry Bradshaw,
Yeah.
02
I mean,
won season
I guess
1, and
I guess the question is, Dev, are we wrong about that? Do you think?
Not really. Ow, 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 ow. Damn it, cat.
But yeah, so that's one of those things where, like, the original intention when I got the question was I was going to read it and toss it to Dev, but we kind of covered all that already. Like, it ended up being a great. I think that I don't whoever asked that, I don't remember at the moment. That like line. Oh, I think it was Galhard actually, the Transformers one. It ended up kind of answering this one for it. So yeah, it's basically people are very stuck in adding the minutia type stuff and not like. And here's the thing.
Relevant
And
information.
here's the thing. As much as I will give the various Digimon wiki shit, that's not like a unique thing to them. Like,
yeah, no,
like,
no.
like people love Memory Alpha, but like if you just want to see what show someone was in, Memory Alpha will have pages of information, and you have to like actually look for this character's in Deep Space Nine. So it actually does kind of fail in that fashion. Like I'm literally looking at it right now. I actually pulled up a page.
I honestly use the various Digimon wikis for various purposes. Like,
Oh
I'm
no,
not
I
committed
think
to
we
one of
all.
them.
No, I think we all do, but I think all wikis tend to fall into that hole of forgetting to tell you. Okay, I've told
Yeah.
AR how great Benjamin Sisko is in Star Trek and how he should watch the show. But maybe I have to run off and I haven't told AR where Benjamin Sisko is, and he looks it up, and
Right.
the first page of information you see does not say
Does
Benjamin
not say
Sisko's
it's in Deep Space Nine. It's
yeah.
Deep Space Nine, right?
Now,
Okay.
Deep Space Nine gets mentioned because it's an actual location in the show. But it doesn't tell you this is a
a
character
character
from
in
Star
that.
Trek Deep. Yes, you have to like
Oh.
look through all this information to find it, and it doesn't tell you that. It will tell you, oh, he's played by Avery Brooks, which is great. It tells you he's a human character in the show, but it does not say somewhere like introduced in Star Trek Deep Space Nine or the main thing he's in is Star Trek. It doesn't tell you that. It tells you there are other Benjamin Siskos first.
I'm actually pulling up this
Oh yeah,
article to see what. No, you can continue. I'm just looking at what you mean.
Where it it does. We're like there are buttons for DS9, but it doesn't tell you what that means. It's to tell you, oh, these are episodes of Deep Space Nine that they're giving examples of, but it doesn't say this is a main character of Deep Space Nine. If you need that information, it's like it's the topmost portion is a biography basically.
Yeah, so basically treats like it's an actual like article on a real person instead of like a character.
Which is great to read information, but like the first thing you see about him should not be basic information, and then it starts talking about his childhood in New Orleans. It should tell you this is a character that was from the TV show Deep Space Nine, and he's also been in novels and blah 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 blah. It doesn't. It's written.
It feels like it expects you to know a certain amount of information
that's the
going
thing.
in. The better example is I just pulled up the Jean-Luc Picard article. You have to scroll forever to see a reference to Next Generation, and that's only as a reference.
No, but that's the same issue that I like. Here's the thing: Memory Alpha is fucking amazing as far as information goes.
Oh yeah.
But like, if you want like the actual shit about the show, and you want to be told like, okay, maybe what's the first thing Picard appeared in? It's like, okay, you're reading. He's a celebrated Starfleet officer. No, where is he fucking from?
Like, what show do I have to watch to see this character?
Yeah, that's an issue and I don't think I'm the only person who has that type of issues with wikis, but it's easier to complain.
And I'm noticing it also has like it even lists who it's played by. It doesn't list the series and movies that they're in, but rather what time periods they play the character.
Yeah, but that's also where it gets to, for example, played by Patrick Stewart. Okay, how about instead of giving the year, say Patrick Stewart, and then underneath it have a little more button, because like here's the thing,
all the things that he's played.
So here's the thing: when they list David Tristan Birkin, I'm pretty sure that's that same actor who played his nephew and played him in one episode when he's de-aged. Tom Hardy only played him in a few photo, and it lists the photograph thing, but like it. This isn't information that's. If you're looking for who played Jean-Luc Picard, you're looking for Patrick Stewart. That's it. Uh, that's what a more section's for.
Yeah.
So that's my same complaint with Wikimon.
Yeah. Like
If it's
a more section would have both what
yeah, it's the type of thing where
which card they played
yeah,
and
it's the type of
where
thing
they
where
played.
if it seems like we're complaining, or maybe me more specifically, about the Digimon wikis, it's because we are a Digimon thing. It's not an issue specific to them. It's just much easier to notice when that's what we're talking about. Like, I love
Yeah, it's
Memory
like this
Alpha,
is one of our
but
resources.
but yeah,
Mhm.
like if I were to tell AR, you'd love this book, it stars this character. He's not going to remember the name of the book. He's going to remember that I told him that it's a book that stars character X, and he's going to go look it up.
Yeah.
And the wikis are fucking worthless for that. And
Mhm.
it's fucking annoying because it should tell you how to find stuff, because that's how you get people more interested in it. And that's why it drives me insane when, like, and I know it drives Dev insane too, when it's like, oh, Ogremon's a neat character. What the fuck's an Orgmon? Or,
Yep.
hey, this character's a living yo-yo, and his name is spelled Yo-Yo-Mon, and Yaxtu. So, yeah. But yeah, that's basically my point regarding it. And yeah, so AR, where can they find you? And what do you
Digimon.
minus your birthday, is anything else going on?
Oh, well, because it is, I've got that going on and other stuff this weekend that I really don't have anything else going on. But Digimon.firstagent.net is my website. First Agent ARP is my Twitter, and yeah, birthday this week. Along with every other Digimon reviewer that May and Victor and I were talking about.
Yeah, no joking, cynicism, or anything else meant. Happy birthday, AR. I have no doubt that I will probably become busy and forget it, but I truly do mean enjoy it and have fun.
Enjoy it while you remember to say that.
No, I'm 100% skipping the age jokes for either of us. Enjoy it, have fun. Hopefully, it's a good time.
Eat an illegal amount of cake.
That's the plan.
Good.
They were sold out. They were sold out of Mario Kart cakes at Walmart, unfortunately.
Dev, what
Aw.
Wikimon article would you like everyone to read this week?
To be prepared for next week, they should read the Burpmon article.
And after the Burpmon article, since AR did it himself, go to the Memory Alpha Benjamin Sisko page, and without clicking a link, just reading, find the first time it actually says that, like, the title of the show, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Not talking about Deep Space Nine as a place, but like as an actual television show.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and I guarantee it's gonna be as a reference, and it might just say DS9.
Oh no, it does that in like the first paragraph, where it goes DS9, and then it gives episode titles for you to click on. But it also doesn't say their episode titles. It's just parenthesis DS9 that says emissary, blah 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 blah, and there's links to episodes.
Yeah.
Because they're basically footnotes.
A lot of wikis do that.
Yeah, and I don't like it because it.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I love
Like
Star Trek.
Wikipedia, I think, does that, where it's kind of like acting like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
An
Wikipedia
actual
is the worst with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will catch you guys all next time. AR a little bit older and grayer, but so
that's nothing. That's after watching 50 episodes of this series. That's nothing new, though.
Yeah. So next few weeks, the night schedule will be slightly different. Next week we will be Tuesday instead of Monday, and then the week after will be Sunday instead of Monday.
It's gonna be a quick turnaround, like 5 days.
Yeah. So we will catch you guys all later. Thank you for showing up. See ya.
Bye.